This has been a crazy year. We got a lot of awesome video games and some great movies too. Finally, a reason to buy a PlayStation 5. But this is my personal list, so there is still a lot of video games I haven't played. That is why a game you might like is not on this list. But anyway, let's get started with... Jesus Christ, this is some impressive stuff. In its best moments, it can give Doom Eternal a run for its money. The combat loop is excellent. You fly through the arenas at breakneck speed and use whole arsenal all the time. None of the weapons and powers ever feel redundant and unnecessary. The balancing act is chief's kiss. The pacing and set pieces are almost always top notch too. There is something sick and distinctive in every single level. Even the vehicle sections are totally amazing. The bike and the mech ones especially. The enemy roster is super solid. Almost every enemy is memorable and oppressive. So many indie shooters fail to get enemies right. This isn't one of them. Each episode left me thinking, whoa, that was amazing, only for the next episode to blow it out of the water. By the time I hit the third episode, I was in pure bliss. I haven't had this much fun with a game in years, and it looks and sounds absolutely gorgeous. And it's mostly one guy project. Are you kidding me, dude? Just incredible. If you hunger for a new warrior game, Pizza Tower is exactly what you are looking for. Pizza Tower not only understands what made these games good, but expands on it and carves out its own identity due to its increased emphasis on movement and score attack mechanics. Pepino has a dizzying amount of moves that can at first make him feel sloppy and bloated to play, but his moveset is designed to be chained together, and the levels allow you to make the most of his moveset. It makes it very cathartic to master Pepino and the levels you have him fly through. The main character never says a word, but the story is still really funny. All the characters in this game are really original. Looks like something from the 90s, which is nice to see for a change. This is all coupled with an absolute back-to-back banger soundtrack. This is a game I'll be replaying again and again for years. And you should too. This is pretty much Devil May Cry action combined with rhythm gameplay. And faithfully, the music in this game is just incredible. Makes all the boss fights extremely epic. The music is phenomenal throughout, and the way that it's enhanced and ascended by every single sound effect is unlike almost anything I've ever played. The action isn't just in time with the music. The action creates the music. The story is simple, but told through endearing and charmingly written characters that I got invested in more quickly than I expected. Hi-Fi Rush is my new favorite anime. A casual playthrough of the main story on normal will run you around 10 hours. Not too short, not too long, and with 3 difficulties. Above that, a bunch of post-game content. An incredible replayability. I can see myself revisiting this game over and over again for a long time. This is definitely a game where the developers focused more on the fun gameplay, instead of creating a 30-hour tedious boring story. Great choice in my opinion. It feels like watching a cartoon from the early 2000s. I hope you will thumbs up this game on Steam. Everybody should try it out at some point. I promise you, you will have a good time. This game is excellent. It takes everything Octopath Traveler was doing and makes it better. Combat improvements, story improvements, the environment art is better. The music is great. I completed the main story at 89 hours. Lots of side quests left to do and items to collect. One of the best RPGs I've ever played in a very long time. If you played the first Octopath Traveler, this is a step up in pretty much every way. And if you haven't, you don't need to play the first to understand the story of this one. For the most part, the stories are really interesting, but 2 of the 8 stories are really boring. I say just skip those cutscenes and enjoy the combat. And I recommend not wasting your time grinding. Just follow the stories. You will level up extremely fast when you do that. One of the most fun things to do in this game is capture monsters, a bit like Pokemon. And you can find some really overpowered monsters. Just 2 hours into the game, the combat is where this game really starts to shine, which really makes me smile. Using a modified form of the Brave/Default system from Bravely Default, as well as the robust job system that old school Final Fantasy is known for. Octopath 2 managed to create a JRPG combat system that rewards skill over stats. I personally found myself going up against level 45 bosses when my party was only around level 32 and still winning with proper play. And while mowing through enemies can get repetitive. If you decide to stay in the same area for a while, the game includes a battle turbo button by default. It's maybe crazy I'm saying this, but I think this game is way better than many Final Fantasy games. And that's saying a lot. Even if you're not a JRPG fan, give it a shot. And the best video game of 2023 is... oh boy! This is the most surprising game of 2023. I thought it was just another boring Mario platform game, but I was heavily surprised how different this game is compared to the old ones. I just played new Super Mario Bros. Wii again just to see what the difference was, but I must say I enjoyed this new game more. You even have 3 difficulties: normal, easy and invincible mode, by the character you are choosing. The first thing that hits you playing Mario Wonder is how much life has been brought to the franchise. Mario has always had visual identity, but this has remained almost unchanged for the past 20 years. The new look is subtle, a painted quality, more expressive and vibrant. It's nothing crazy, but it's a big improvement. Next comes the creativity. Wonder quite boldly puts creativity at the center of its identity, telegraphing it with the Wonder Flowers. This creativity keeps the game fresh, no level feels wasteful. This creativity is tempered by that signature Nintendo prudence. No mechanic is overextended, there's very few power-ups present. The Fire Flower and Starman return alongside 3 new abilities. The Elephant gives Mario a melee attack, whilst the Bubbles and Drill give Mario more movement options. Naturally, these are the best. Freedom in movement is a real highlight in Wonder. The badge system offers a selection of new moves for Mario. This movement offers a dose of the freedom present in the 3D games. The funny thing is that it feels like it's inspired by Rayman Legends, which is already an amazing game, so I don't blame them for that. The only thing I think are disappointing in this game are the boss fights. They should have done something like all the great Kirby games do. Some say the game is too short, but I tell them just try to beat the game 100%. It's not really that hard, and playing all the secret levels are really fun and challenging. I didn't even use a guide to do it. And I suck at completing games 100%. This is definitely a Mario game everybody should play. But here is some honorable mentions. Now this is my top 5 movies of 2023. Let's start with... the Mario movie is just a short crazy adventure. If you are not a fan of Mario, you will probably not enjoy this movie. But this movie has plenty of colors, action and funny characters. Even the voice acting is great, especially Bowser. Let's hope we get more great video game movies in the future. This movie really surprised me. There are plenty of references to Dungeons and Dragons. All the monsters in the movie are really amazing looking. And I really like the main character. He's really silly and puts off some funny lines. And the effects are looking way better than any Disney movie in the recent years. Which is kind of incredible. If you are a fan of fantasy, you will definitely enjoy this movie. I promise you that. This is a really underrated Netflix movie. The main character, Nimona, a cute dragon girl who can transform to all kinds of different animals. Monkeys, elephants, a whale, even the main character's sidekick is gay. It is still an interesting story and the final battle is pretty damn epic. Looks like something from a Godzilla movie. Even if you don't have a Netflix account, I think you should check this movie out at some point. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is definitely my favorite of all the movies. It's a much darker story, and Rocky is a way more interesting character now when you know his backstory. There is a lot of action and beautiful 3D effects. Even his old friends are really cute animals. And even the main character is a complete asshole in this movie, which was pretty damn funny. The only thing I didn't like were all the kids at the end of the movie, and the villain was kind of boring. But overall, this is one of the best Marvel movies they have ever made if you ask me. You will get plenty of action in this movie. John Wick Chapter 4, one of the most epic action movies I have ever seen, filled with blood, women, and fat white evil men. Even the black guy in the movie has a cute dog, and he is an amazing sniper. The only thing I thought was weird was the Asian guy, because he is blind but uses a sword. And I don't like the villain, he doesn't get that much screen time. But overall, all the cars, weapons, explosions, everything is just amazing in this movie. John Wick is just like James Bond, but better. Best movie of 2023. So that was everything I enjoyed this year. What is your favorite movie or video game from 2023? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to click subscribe and like the video. I'm Rijad, and I will see you next time right here on Omega's Movie.